Yeah, I don't know what that means. Okay, thanks.
It's like
confirming your NIL. All right, we're ready. Mute. Phone's muted.
Let me just turn her off.
I want to like stick my feet out so they can see my socks.
Well, how do you do that?
Should I flex my calf?
Put on the do not. Oh, do that. Yeah.
You know, what I mean, I don't have anybody texting me, so it's all good.
Okay. Just pick up breathing.
Key to this: have fun. If you have something you want to say, chop it up with us.
This
isn't an interview. This is a podcast with me and Jake.
You make a topic.
Amazing.
Whoa.
Let's chop it up.
It'll just come naturally.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can do this on the
pod.
pod.
Yeah,
we'll do it on the pod.
Right. Oh, no, we're not gonna be able to do it. Here we go. We're gonna choke.
Ready?
Okay.
Come on, Bryce. Okay, lock
Straight faces.
All right.
Hey, bench warmers. Bryce.
I don't know what camera to look at.
Do I look at the screen?
Yeah, look at the camera originally, but then look at us after the.
I'm just
look
gonna,
at the camera.
I'm gonna keep all of
There's
that.
like six
It's the
of
one
them.
straight ahead.
Wait,
Once we start, just look at me.
that one.
Don't look
That
at camera.
one.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
okay. All right.
Sorry, Dalton.
Yeah, sorry, Dalton. Hey, bench warmers. Welcome back to another Seniors on JV podcast. I'm Kennedy Smith here with my co-host, Jake Lanier.
Howdy, everybody.
Howdy. And we've got two Aggie track stars in the room. First off, we've got Bryce Foster. This is his second time being on the podcast. First time we've ever had a repeat. You're so lucky.
Recurring guest. We're excited.
I think I'm the luckiest person alive right now.
Yeah.
I've never been so excited.
You know, you deserved another time on the podcast because when we put you on originally, it was when we were nobodies, and our podcast was in the lobby of a hotel with Jake's phone.
But that's what made it fun.
Look where we are now.
Now we have all this like professional stuff here. It's like amazing. I love it.
And now I got to introduce our second guest. This is Layla Owens. She is a 200 and 400 meter runner. Had to add that 400 in there.
You didn't.
I did. We'll get back to that later. But we just wanted to talk about how y'all's season's going. We just had SECs. We're getting ready for championship season. And just kind of do a rundown on a bunch of different topics. Specifically with Bryce, though. We're going to be talking about some football stuff because you are Mr. Dual Sport. And football is kind of blowing up right now for A&M.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about it.
Well, do you want? I'll take it away.
Take it away.
So we're gonna talk about what y'all did this past weekend. The SEC meet was in Oxford. We had some good showings. Bryce scoring his first point for A&M this week with an 8th place in shot put with a 61.4. I do have one question before we get to Layla.
I'm scared of this question.
Oh boy! All right, let's hear it.
You let another freshman beat you. Dylan Taggart from South Carolina was one spot ahead of you, about 8 inches. Not very much.
I told him to rephrase his question. Don't just say, why'd he beat you?
We got him at regionals and nationals, though.
Right. So I remember overhearing on the announcer one day at A&M how I was like the third best freshman thrower. And I looked up, I was like, no way. I was like, I don't remember anybody like being that close to me in high school. And I go and I look up the two guys that are in front of me, and one was like COVID year.
Oh,
right.
okay.
And then the other one was redshirted. So he's a freshman this year, but not a true freshman.
Get your facts straight,
Okay.
Jerry.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
I checked the Tefers, and he didn't have any prior things. Because in Tefers, you can look at everyone's times, you can look at their marks, and you kind of like scope out how good people are. So I did my research. He didn't have any previous, but I guess with the redshirt year.
Maybe if you were still on the track team, you would know this stuff.
Okay,
not, so you don't.
No, but I looked it up for like my own little confidence booster. I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way I could lose to another freshman. And then I was like, okay, he's a year older, but still, I mean, I've had a good week of practice this week, so hopefully expecting some.
So to
big
set the record
next
straight,
Wednesday.
you were the best freshman.
True freshman.
True freshman.
That's what you like.
But I want to be the best in
That's what
general.
I like to hear.
So. Layla, you kind of had an interesting weekend, a great weekend. 4th place in the 200 individually.
Awesome.
Okay.
Y'all got 3rd place in the 4x1 with not the original team that we expected. You kind of had to throw in some people, but we excelled, we exceeded, as well as 2nd place in the 4x4, which
with a 49.5
with a 49.5 that you say you're not a 400 meter runner, but you're running 49.5, sub 50. We're pushing like
you're faster than Jake.
That's so fast.
I've had a worse split indoors like 3 times in that, so I just want to put that out there.
No, I actually don't know where that came from. I didn't even know I was capable of it until it happened. Really, the only thing I remember vividly about that race is Coach Henry was literally standing at the end of the curve. And he was like, "You gotta move, put her in the race, put her in the race." I'm like, "Okay,
Put who in the
Coach."
race?
Cherokee, because Cherokee was last leg,
And,
and I think
and Abby Steiner was on the other leg, right?
Abby was on that leg, and I don't know, I can't remember the other legs for like Arkansas and Florida. And Coach Henry's like, "Put her in the race," like just basically saying, "Put Cherokee in the race," because we were in, I think, 4th by the time I got the stick. He's like, "Put her in the race. We need to be close." I was like, "Okay." Like I started kicking earlier than I ever have in my life, and I didn't know if I was gonna make it to the finish line, but I did.
You were zooming down the home stretch. I mean, usually people are losing steam by then, and you passed like 2 girls getting up there towards Abby. I mean, give it another 20 meters. I thought you would have had her.
Well, to be honest, it's just crazy this past year because y'all had both collegiate records last year with the Thing Mo. This year, y'all run faster than y'all ran indoors and outdoors, and another team beat y'all, and there were so many teams under the collegiate record. I just think it's crazy how fast the overall teams are this year.
No, it's wild. We were talking about that as a team, like the 4x4. We were like, we literally keep losing, but we're beating the collegiate record. Like, it's weird. And it's also got very personal because we're like, everybody was saying that we couldn't run what we did last year without a thing. Like, without a thing, we're nothing. A&M tried, and it's like, we're literally exceeding that. Like, but yeah, it's crazy. The times have drastically dropped this year. Like 3:22. There's like three teams that ran 3:22 this year. Sick.
I remember my freshman year, I think A&M had just gotten the collegiate record, and it was a 3:26 maybe.
Yeah.
It was 4 seconds. No, 5 seconds now. That's 3:21 they got. 5 seconds slower, and that was the best there had ever been.
I think like 3:26 or 3:20 something won Texas Relays 3 years ago, and it's like that wouldn't have even placed.
You wouldn't place
3rd. Like this
you would
year.
get like 7th at SEC.
The amount of high school boys varsity teams that are running slower is probably, I would say,
Majority.
Probably only 10 to 15% probably run 3:21 or better in the entire nation. And that's just ridiculous. That's
so
sick.
fast. I mean, that's like SECs
That's
though. I mean, even if you looked at even the shot put competition, we had 3 guys over 20 meters, and it's like I think it's just like SECs brings out the best in people.
I've always said that track is like the most pure sport in the sense that it just shows like raw athleticism. Like football, there's a lot of like technique and plays and like little tricks and stuff. But if you want to see the way like human beings are evolving, look at track. How are we running on average 5 seconds faster than we were a decade ago?
Yeah.
It was only 10 years ago. All right, so we've got to pause. I know Jake is itching to talk to you, Bryce, about what Jimbo Fisher was talking about this morning in his press conference.
I am so excited to talk about this, Bryce. Did you watch the press conference live? I actually
I didn't watch it live. We had a team meeting when it was live, but right before I went out for practice, I watched it.
What were your initial thoughts last night when you saw on Twitter what Nick Saban said, then you saw the live video? Because originally I saw the quote, A&M's buying our players, blah, 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 crying. And then I was like, no way he actually said this. No way he actually said this. And then there's an actual video that came out. It was true. And then I get an alert that Jimbo Fisher's doing a press conference out of the blue at 10 o'clock. And I go, what's this going to be about? And completely just enjoyed it. But I just want to hear from a player's perspective, what did you think of what Jimbo said and just like the whole situation as a whole?
I mean, I was scrolling on Instagram last night and I saw the quote and I was, there's no way he said that. I mean, football is all about talking a little bit mess here and there, right, and just throwing some like little shots, right? But that was like shooting a rocket. I was like, whoa. And then I was like, there's no way. I don't believe it. I bet it's just some like slang, like sliced bread. I mean, everyone's heard of sliced bread, right?
I don't think Layla has any clue what we're talking about.
None at all.
Not at all, no.
I'll tell you later.
No, but like you see like the sliced bread slander going around everywhere, right? And I mean, it's just like you don't really want to believe some of the stuff that some things go out on social media. But then I saw the video, I was shocked. I was like, he really said that, and I think he's kind of butthurt a little bit still from last year, right? With two freshmen on the O-lineman that we did pretty well, I think. But in response to what he said, what Coach Fisher said, I mean, shoot, they were giving money. I didn't get none. I'm kind of mad about that. Like, what?
I saw. I think
where's my bag?
Ish
We'll get you one.
tweeted a GIF on the team Ish Harris, and it was like, I'm broke.
That was like my exact same thing. I was like, well, if they're actually doing this, why have I not
Where's
gotten
my
nothing? I'm saying, but but for real, I haven't heard anything about that. Even from like the guys who are here, like, there's no secrets anymore once you get here, right? And I've talked to a few of the other guys, and they're like, no, we haven't got anything. Never heard of that.
Does that just make you just like love to play with Coach Fisher even more than before? Just seeing how he has like his players' backs. It definitely seemed like Nick Saban was like trying to call out, like you said, like 17-year-olds.
Right.
And Fisher like said like you can't
Despicable.
like it's despicable.
Yeah, I mean it's really cool. I mean it's not only he has our backs, he has like the family's backs as well, and the Texas A&M as a whole, right? I think that's like one of the main things is, you know, Aggie. Everyone talks about like the Aggie family and stuff like that. I think he's a really like good example of like Aggie family. I mean he's helping not only like us as student athletes, as the football players, but you know the parents and the families of everybody. Because to me that's like really disrespectful if you think that. You just paid these kids in order to go to your school. Like, I would take that as disrespect, and I think this is make a fun October 8th next year.
I want to talk about Layla coming to A&M, because I know you had a lot of different options on where you could go, but your older sister was an A&M runner. She's actually one of my closest friends on the team. Oh, love Jara. Shout out to Jara. So why did you choose to come to A&M?
So I took 3 visits. I took a visit to here, UT, and LSU, and it was literally no comparison. I think I took my visit here maybe first, and probably
You compared it.
yeah,
to
it was.
everything.
It's like
there's everyone else.
yeah, it was hard. Once you take a visit here and you look at any other facility or the environment or the fans or the culture, it's like A&M has you beat.
Casa de Brazil won you over.
It has
Oh my
to be.
gosh.
I think that
Oh my gosh.
I was in complete
Casa de
awe
Brazil.
the first time they took me there. Like my dad, we were sitting at the table like, they're still coming. Like
Unlimited meat.
it's still coming. But yeah, no, I think I clicked with the team a lot better. And you know, like you said, my sister went here, so a lot of the people here kind of treated me as such. Like they kind of took me under their wing as if they had to look out for me, which I appreciated it, loved it 100%.
You resisted it a little bit.
I
though.
did.
Yeah, you didn't want to be known as Jared's little sister.
Well, that's part of the
Layla
reason.
came in here saying she wasn't going to be my friend because I was her sister's friend.
Yeah, but I mean that's part of the reason I didn't want to come here, because like I've lived all my life as Jared's little sister. Given she's a great person to look up to, she's awesome. But we from middle school on we went to the same school, so it's like ran the same sports, did the same thing. So it's every time I came up, it's like, oh, that's little Jared, that's little Owens, or it's like, and I didn't want that when I got here. So I kind of tried to avoid it here, but it was just unbeatable.
So do you feel like you've made a name for yourself yet?
100%. I have
I
Jared.
think so.
You're a
Jesus.
cornerstone on the team. Both of y'all are both cornerstones in the track team.
I'm just saying, I don't know your sister.
I'm
so
a middle
to
stone.
Me,
I'll take it.
to me, you're Big Owens.
Oh, yes,
To me,
thanks,
you're Big
Bryce.
Owens.
Yes, that's what I was going for.
Pissing butt over there. All right. So track and field is a year-round sport. However, we are almost so close to the finish line. So what are your plans after NCAA track season's over?
So that is a good question, Kennedy. I did hit the world standard in 200. So depending on how my body's like feeling and holding up after nationals, the plan is to go and do the USA trials. I don't know, it's like July something.
It's like 2 weeks after.
Yeah, in Eugene. God willing, I'll be there. Hopefully make a final, get to run against some really good talent. After that, if I was fast enough to make the cut, there is Worlds. But if that's where my season ends, then I'll probably go home, spend a little bit of time with my family, and then come back out here and train, take a couple classes and whatnot.
You're not even halfway done with your degree.
yeah,
Have
it's
fun
tough.
with that. Yeah. What about you, Bryce? Right back to football.
Are you going on another cruise?
So, I wish. Oh, how lovely
Bryce
that was.
skipped a track meet because he had a cruise.
Whoa.
Let's put him on blast.
You did
Whoa,
what?
You did
what?
Whoa, hold on.
You
No,
did
no.
Well, because he's football,
No.
Coach Henry couldn't do anything.
I took a week off because I was
I
going.
want a week off.
Did you get Thanksgiving off?
No.
I
Did we get
drove to
Thanksgiving
LSU
off? No.
and watched y'all.
Hey, listen.
I'm kidding.
Next question.
You skipped a track meet
I did.
for a cruise?
It was so worth it.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
I know it was.
so worth
Which track meet?
Arizona State.
We need to
Spring
go
break
there.
trip.
Yeah,
Spring
you-
break trip.
yeah.
No.
We all wish we skipped that one.
Yeah, I could have lived without that
No,
one.
but so after, hopefully I will make nationals. It's the goal, and then right after, hopefully I get some time off, like maybe a week or so off. God willing. I get like a week. I get like a week off, and then I'll hit football, some more workouts again, and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm always going year round. So
Do you fear getting burnt out?
No, that's why I play two sports.
I think that's a good thing of playing two
That's why I
sports.
play two sports, is because football is a lot of time. It's a lot of time. I mean, we're 2 to like 7:30, 8:30 every day during the season, and so that's a lot of hours you're spending with the same group of however many people are on the team, right? And then when you just turn around, you get like 6 weeks off and you go back to spring football. Like I feel like I get really, really burnt out. So that's why I do track. It's kind of like my way of, oh no, I miss it, I want it back, and then I'm like, oh no, now I miss track, and that's like,
So
oh, now
we're
I
just
get
a
it
nice
back.
little buffer for you.
You know, it's an honor.
Well, when you say it in a bad way, yeah.
We'll take it.
It's an honor to be your buffer, Bryce.
I don't know how to take that.
All right, well, we're going to finish this episode off with, we could call it a game. It's a little more of a talk tea session.
Oh, boy.
So I'm going to call this segment File Your Complaints. Just like a little HR session. So we're all going to go around the circle and file our complaints on these topics. What's one complaint about your sport? You can choose either one. But the rules of the sport. Jake, got anything for track?
The rules of track. This isn't really a rule. It's a Coach Henry rule. I hate cooling down. After I finish running, I just want to lay on the ground and not do anything. And then like sometimes like you finish the 4x4 in like an indoor meet at home, and you're so tired, and everyone else is like sitting, you know, on the back of the track, and then they're like, "Come on, guys, hurry up!" And I'm just like, I just ran a 400. I'm seeing white. Like I don't know what's going on. And then they're like, "Come on, we got to do the team meeting. We got to go." So I really hate cooling down. I would rather just lay on the ground for 30 minutes and then call it quits.
100%.
Y'all have any?
A track rule.
I'm trying to think of like a rule that I don't like.
I'll go one. It's not even my event. But I feel like in the 4x1, there shouldn't have to be zones. Like, I get it, but if we have one person that's faster, like, let them run a little longer. And then we can pass it off and let someone else do, like, 50 meters. I think it'd just be so much more interesting and fun. It'd be so much chaos.
It would be very chaotic.
I think that'd be the most interesting thing.
Yeah. What is a rule?
I don't know. It's such a laws because I'm trying to think. Like throwers, you don't have that many rules.
Okay, think football then.
Do you think it should be when
I didn't
Texas
break any
joins
No
the SEC?
celebrations?
Are y'all all just gonna throw horns down on them? Like because that's technically illegal in
Yeah.
the Big 12.
Yeah, I don't want Jimbo yelling at me. I'm kind of scared of Coach Fisher. He's a scary guy.
Clipping that.
Like you said in the interview, he doesn't mind confrontation.
Are you going to confront him?
Nope. Maybe in shot, I don't like the idea of whenever you throw and like your foot hits like the top of the toe board, it's considered a foul, or like the little, because there's like a little corner, right? And if you hit that corner, it's a foul too. And so I don't really like that. I understand like not being like way out of the ring and way out of control, right? But I think like that toe board's literally there so you don't hurt yourself pretty bad, right? I don't know. I'm fine with it. That's just the only thing I can nitpick out of at least throwing.
I don't like wind gauges. I don't like
Oof.
running.
Yep, I like that.
I like them to an extent. I just feel like if
Should we up it?
Maybe to 3-0.
Maybe the 3-0. And I also feel like because legal win is what, 2.0?
2.0.
2.0.
And I just feel like if my
Under
race is
4,
2.1, I just feel like it should be a range, like 2.0 to 2.5, maybe.
I
Like
think
if
it should
I
be maybe raised to 4.0.
No.
And I don't think that there should
That's
be
a
a
little
wind
high.
gauge on
That's
hurdles.
Well, I
Because
don't
hurdling
think,
with wind and against wind, it's all hard.
see, I don't think it should necessarily be raised. I just feel like there should be a range. Like if, I just like it's.
I mean, the range is
so,
0 to 2.
But I just like it's so inconvenient. I like it's so
One close
inconvenient. If I run in a 2.1 win, it's like, well, not win legal. But it's like the 0.1. What difference did that really make? Like, I just don't think that made me run any faster, the 0.1 win.
Do you think they should just convert everyone's time with the win? Because there's like a conversion. Like if it's a 4:0 wind, you can see what you ran the 100 and it can convert.
Well, also like vice versa when you run into the wind.
Yeah, and I also I just
usually in college they can flip it though.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just really janky all the way around because just this past week, the women's 100, all of the wins were like negative 0.8, 0.4, something like that. And then the last heat is like negative 1.4. It's like, so the last heat just got the short end of the stick because they're running into the hardest headwind. So most of those girls didn't even get to see a final because of a wind gauge that didn't benefit them at all.
Well, that's outdoor sports. I mean, I feel like if it's going to be that nitpicky, just don't pay attention.
Just don't do a track meet in College
Your
Station.
body got from point A to point B in that amount of time.
Right. We could just get rid of it. Like, what
If God
would be
blessed
the
you
worst?
with wind, you're blessed. Good
What would be
for
the
you.
worst
Right,
if you just said no wind gauges?
Then Matthew Bowling would have ran a 9.98 when he had.
But
like,
that's
He had
okay.
a hurricane.
But I
behind
just feel
him.
like that's fine. He'd have to run
because
it
the
against
body,
other.
the body still ran the time.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Coach Anderson would say that. Like, he would be, like, so happy. Like, we would go to a meet. He'd be like, you ran this. And you're like, oh, it was, like, a 4 win. He was like, but your body did that. You can do that in, like, a win legal time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What
All right.
if-
Last
I
complaint.
could add one more thing.
Oh.
Maybe, I mean, I don't know, but I think it'd be pretty cool if, like, so in shot, you can't, like, take the ball off your neck and then throw it. That's considered an illegal throw. So I think it would be pretty dope if, like, you didn't have to. That you could throw it any way you want as long as you stayed in the ring.
Why
you
is
could
that?
throw it any way you want.
Yeah, it could be
maybe
like how,
but,
like, high jump, they used to, like, not do, like, the
They used
flip.
to
Right,
do
yeah.
the
Jump
over.
scissor
Yeah,
jump over
Yeah,
it.
but like in shot, how
first.
you could go like to the front of the toe
Between.
board and just chunk it backwards. I don't know. I think
Overhead back.
that'd be like a weird like, because that'd be very difficult to
that.
stay in the
Yeah.
ring. But it'd be.
I would like to be
pretty
able to
cool.
push over my hurdles with the hands. I just sprint.
Then I could do
Yeah.
hurdles. Dude.
Also, yeah, and then spin zone. Why are you on the 2-yard line of a football game? Why don't you have like a baby hold a football and you chunk the baby over the goal line?
What are we talking about?
Whoa.
Wait, what?
What are
Where
we
do we
talking
go?
about?
What are
Where
you
do we
talking
go there?
about?
I'm saying.
What
Like,
are you talking about?
Why are we throwing babies?
How did you get there?
Why are we throwing babies, Jake?
How did you get there?
Nobody's on your
I'm saying
side.
spin zone to football. Spin zone to football. Why, like, have like a little person, you hold the football, and then you chunk him over the line for the touchdown. Like, you know how you said you could. It's like, why isn't that a strategy?
What?
Oh! I don't. Okay, so it's like.
I don't get it.
So it's like
You're
it's like
on
you
the goal
give
line. You're on the goal.
so you give the smallest person the ball
And you chunk him
and you just
in the
get
air.
like 3 linemen and you just throw them over everybody.
Okay.
I think it's like, why don't we
That's
do that? Like,
illegal,
that's
though.
how I'm comparing
Oh,
it
that's
to
illegal?
shot
That's
put.
illegal.
How
You
is
can't
that
do
illegal?
It's the same thing. Why can't Bryce do overhead back in the circle?
Does that mean
Yeah.
someone tried that at some point?
I would assume so. Why'd you have to bring a baby though? Like why
Really?
a baby?
That was just the first thing that came out.
You're kicked off the podcast. I think I'm done complaining. I think we sound like a bunch of very unhappy people. I swear we love our sports. But thank you guys for coming on the Seniors on JV podcast. I feel bad calling y'all JV. Y'all are very varsity half of the table over there. But
JV.
congratulations on how great y'all did at SECs, and good luck with the rest of your seasons. I'll be
you.
there to support and
And
hopefully be up there
run.
with you. I'll be running too. And Jake will be watching
watching.
live.
I'll be
She'll be
watching.
being
I'll be
Jake.
watching.
All right, thanks for tuning in for this episode of Seniors on JV. We will see y'all on the next one. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
y'all.